Am I live? Yes, I'm live. Hello. Yeah, this is the closest thing I have to a. Yes, I'm live. Hello. Shut up, me. Hi. Yeah, this is the closest thing I have to a Halloween costume. So I will be wearing it for about 5 minutes. This is an Umbreon onesie. Uh, and because I was distracted watching videos, I forgot to put on the music. So just give me a moment. How's everyone doing? Happy Halloween, by the way. Oh, I need to put in a token to log in. All right, I'm in. Do we have music now? We do. Okay, great. All right. Oh, Ethan is trying to connect. Hang on. Ethan's gonna join us. Just give me a moment. I was too distracted. Hello, Ethan. Your microphone is muted, but I am connected now, so once you start talking, I can hear you. Hello, Charon. Hello, Kyle. Hello, literally, Cthulhu. Why not keep the Umbreon onesie for the entire stream? Oh, no, I will keep on the onesie. I'm not going to take off the onesie. I'm just not going to keep the hood on because it's quite warm here. Oh, are you just like still muted from before? Oh. Well, there you go. You're back now, Ethan. Hello. Hello, Ethan? No? I can hear noises coming from your microphone, but you're not saying anything. Anyway. Oh, hello Indigo as well. Ethan, when you decide to talk, I will be here. Yeah, this is too warm. So, what we're doing today, we are redesigning Dusknoir, but we're specifically redesigning Dusknoir as an evolution for the Dusclops redesign that I did last May. And it's a tough one. Because I did not design this Dusclops thinking that it would evolve. Like, I didn't consider a possible evolution when I was designing this Dusclops. So basically the idea for the Dusclops last May was a thing that existed, yes. Oh, and by the way, when I say last May, I do mean May 2019, which feels like really long ago, but at the same time, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's been like a year and a half almost since I did this Dusclops. I can't stay, but but idea suggestion, you know how people repeatedly say they see white light when they die. How about something huge, white, and glowy? I will consider that. So Right. So the idea for the Dusclops was that, for me, Duskull, which I didn't get a picture of, but I probably should have. But anyway, to me, Duskull always looked like a baby bird, with the way that its little arms are. To me, it always looked like it was a little bird with a giant, like, human-faced skull on it. So my idea for Dusclops was that it would be kind of a Grim Reaper kind of figure, a hooded figure, but it would also be a bird, which is why it opens up its cloak into this kind of wing-like shape. And it has this, I guess, this kind of internal fire kind of thing, which also came from the way that Duskull's eye looks, and the kind of eye pattern on the back is really just to put something on the back, and also to give some kind of callback, I guess, to the Dusclops, the original Dusclops. Okay, bye. So, hang on. I forgot to bring my sketches with me. So, I've been trying to find a way to keep the kind of bird Grim Reaper look, but also give it some means, an antenna maybe, of communicating with the dead, because that's the whole point of Dusknoir. The thing on its head is supposed to be an antenna that lets it communicate with the spirit world. And the other thing is the mouth on the chest, or on the belly rather, that opens up and is kind of like a black hole almost. Although according to, I can't remember now if it's sword or shield. One of the Pokedex entries says that it will actually take in the bodies of its victims and then consume only the spirit and disgorge. That's literally the word that it uses in the Pokedex entry. It disgorges out the physical body. Yeah, apparently the whistle-looking thing on its head is actually an antenna for communicating with the dead. So, I tried a few things. I was having trouble with it, so I'll probably just do a few rough sketches and see what you guys think, see what direction we should go in. I'm gonna try to make this a fairly chill stream. Yeah. Oh, but Jaden, I believe is their name, shared an idea on Twitter to make the head based on an elephant skull, because the elephant skull historically has been, or at least could have been, mistaken for Cyclops skulls, and actually be the origin of, giant one-eyed men kind of deal, because the nasal cavity is so large it actually looks like an ocular cavity, so it looks like it would be a place for a giant eye. And I think that might work. It might go a little bit too much against the bird look. Maybe not. We'll try it out. This would be a killer regional variant. I think it would be more of a regional... if it has to coexist with the original Dusclops, I think this Dusclops would have to be a regional evolution. So it still evolves from Duskull, but isn't a Dusclops. It's just something new. Because yeah, I almost completely disregarded the original Dusclops design when making this. But anyway, maybe something Mothman related. I don't know enough about Mothman. but maybe. I only know a little bit about Mothman, but let's do. I will do a few of the sketches. I'll just like recreate what I have in my sketchbook here, and then you can tell me what you think. Let's see. Oh yeah, I more or less quickly settled on an approach, but just kind of a general approach. But all the specifics were hard to pin down. So let's see. We'll give it a skull, and I'll do different skulls. Like basically all the parts that I have in mind, they're all kind of interchangeable. So skull, I gave it a kind of, in this version, I didn't actually give it a hood, but I gave it a collar, sort of. Obviously it has the wings. What if you had tendrils like Ghost Freak from Ben 10? I know absolutely nothing about Ben 10, I'm sorry. Like I'd never seen anything related to it. Do I like Dusknoir? I do not like Dusknoir. No, Dusknoir is like I like Dusknoir better than Dusclops, but I still don't like it. I find Dusknoir basically less bad, but still bad. You like my hair today? My hair needs to get a haircut. I don't know what you like about my hair today, Hafa, but thank you. So I wanted to give something that could be moderately, at least sickle-like. So I figured bird hands. Because I couldn't find a way to really make the like big bulky hands that Dusclops and Dusknoir have. Couldn't really find a way to make that work with the rest of the look. But yeah, I thought maybe kind of skeletal bird hands might do the trick. Oh, I forgot one piece to this, which was that I thought maybe you could have an antenna, and maybe that could also be more explicitly sickle-like. So both Duskull and your Dusclops are basically a flame with a body, right? So if Dusknoir, the flame, is the soul or black hole it keeps inside its stomach mouth. Yeah, I guess the flame, the like inner flame, is like the spirit, I guess. So this would still be that. it would just be, you know, the flame is up in the head as opposed to down in the body. Because it is supposed to like consume things into its belly. Hello, Felix. You haven't really missed much. Basically, I'm just gonna throw out some sketches because I don't have a super concrete idea of how it should be. So we'll see. What else do I want to do from here? Oh yeah, I did a version of it where it's more explicitly bird-like. Nope. Hang on. Still has the belly mouth. What if it had a robe because it does evolve through Reaper's Cloth? Well, that's the, like, it does have a robe, right? If we look at the Duskull, I'm gonna keep getting the names confused. If we look at the Dusclops, it does have a robe. Like, it already is the Reaper's Cloth, right? Which is part of why I think it makes it difficult to evolve it more based on that. So the whole idea is that it is both a cloak and wings, and I wouldn't want to get rid of that. I think, like, to me, that's like the key element of this Dusknoir or Dusclops design. It's that it's the cloak opens up to become wings, and so that's, you know, that's what this would be as well. This is just showing it open, but it would also close to be a cloak, or in this case it closes to be more like bird wings, but like that is still the idea. Maybe it gets a new cloak, so now it has two cloaks. I'm not sure how that would work. Like, how that would look. What if the tail thing on Dusclops became more prominent on Dusknoir? Like the two, like, wispy thingies? Those two? Which are actually from, yeah, they're from Dusclops' ears, whatever they are supposed to be. Here's the one that I thought was the most successful, maybe the most interesting to me. It's kind of similar to the first one that I did, but there's there's one thing that I actually quite liked from it. I mean, to be honest, it's sort of a little bit of the first two that I did, not just the first one. But like I said, all the parts are kind of whatever. They're interchangeable. Oh, why do I have my eraser on partial opacity? So the idea here is that, like in Dusclops, where you have the hood hanging below the skull, so you can see inside of it. You can see that flame that is burning inside of it. The idea here is that it would still have a hood, but then like the entire body opens up, like from like opening up the entire chest cavity to engulf its victim or prey or whatever it's supposed to be. I thought that idea worked well. I thought that was a neat way, I guess, of actually taking what I had from the previous stage and taking it a step further. So it doesn't just... It's not just like, oh, it's kind of loose, but it actually opens up to engulf things. Oh, and let me show off more or less what it would look like with the kind of elephant skull look. The issue with the elephant skull idea from Jaden is that it kind of conflicts with the collar. Now, it doesn't have to have a collar, I guess, but it just is one of the things that I thought of, and it also conflicts a little bit with the bird. Right. Elephant nose cavities almost look like goggles. Like they're almost goggle shaped. So the actual eye holes from the elephant would be like somewhere over here, basically. But we're not going to show that part. That part is just hidden in shadows. Yeah, so it'd be something like that for the elephant skull. Not necessarily with the tusks, I guess. It could be without, but... and yeah, that's more or less all I've got, which is not very much. Why don't you give it kind of bat design only instead of hands, there's a small their small size and gets long, bony legs like a heron. I wasn't thinking of giving it legs at all, not actual legs, because nothing in the Duskull line has legs. So like, which is why here I'm more or less showing these as like, even though they're based on bird legs, they are more based on, they're more used as hands, except in this version where they are more used as legs, but in a flying stance, in a floating stance, it would still be able to be used as hands as opposed to legs. But something bat-like. Let me play around with that a bit. Cycloptic bat monster. Ironically, that's what Ghost Freak can do. Oh, maybe we'll end up making it a Ben 10 monster? I don't know. Hello, David. I'm doing very well today. Here it's only 12:30 in the afternoon, and it is really warm inside this onesie. I'm sure it's going to look cool, but why is there an elephant skull? This was just a suggestion from someone on Twitter. I think because, you know, Dusclops and Dusknoir, they are both Cyclopses, so the elephant skull fits that. It fits that aesthetic. It maintains the skull from the previous version, and it makes it more of a Cyclops. More like the original, and it's also different from what I did for the previous one. So it's still, so it feels like, you know, it's an actual change. So it doesn't have to be that, but that was the idea. It could have two forms, more vampiric or ghostly in one form, and more bat-like or bird-like in the other. I think the farthest I would want to go as far as having two forms would be this, where the, you know, very similar to the Dusclops, where the kind of idle stance, the perched stance, looks more humanoid, more Reaper-like, and then the attacking stance, the moving stance, whatever it would be, that's more of a that's more in the direction of a bird, of a flying creature. But it could be a little bit more bat-like in the overall look. Like, it would still be, it would still have that kind of ragged look. And I guess it makes it more explicitly bird-like as well, except we're putting the claws on the hand. So that could work. And then skull up here somewhere. Skull probably like tilts backward or something to let the prey in. The elephant skull is actually quite convenient for being a Cyclops skull, because the shape of the face does make it seem, sorry, the shape of the nasal cavity actually does make it seem like an angry eyes kind of deal, which is cool. I like this. This could work. By form, I meant more like your Dusclops, not an actual transformation. Yeah. In that case, yes. That could work. If it's opening up like this to engulf its prey, I wonder if it would make sense, because regular Dusknoir has, it has the two kind of nipples, for lack of a better word, that look like eyes. I don't think they have any other function. As far as I know, they don't actually function as eyes. But it, like, design-wise, it makes it look like those are the eyes for the belly mouth. But they open, it makes the face look like it's straight on, as opposed to if it's going to be opening up this way, maybe it would make sense for it to look like it's a creature more like this way. Although that would mean having a marking, and obviously the head and the skull would be over here. But that would mean having a marking only on one side. And I don't know. Like, I like that. I like the idea that sideways it would look like a face, like opening up its mouth from the side. I don't know what would happen over here, though. What if the belly eyes are bat eyes, so there's 4 on each side of the mouth? I'm not sure how you mean, because bats only have 2 eyes each. Ah, spider eyes. Yes, okay. I don't know if I still don't think it would work this way, because it would, like, the problem here is that in this orientation, in this view, the eyes are supposed to be above the mouth. So even if I had a second eye over here, which might be cool, it wouldn't serve it would still make it unbalanced, right? It wouldn't give it an eye over here, which would make it a more balanced design from the upright perspective, from this perspective. So it might be better to not make it look like a face and actually just make it a rift in the body and a rift in space-time or something like that. Hello, Star Spectrum, by the way. I don't know if I said hello earlier. Just FYI, totally on board with it opening up in a gruesome way. Good. Good. Yeah, I like the I like the bat wing approach. I like it tearing its chest open. In my mind, I'm thinking it's like 4 on the left, 4 on the right of the mouth, and the mouth goes vertically. Yeah, like it would work, but like that might work. That might look good. It just wouldn't serve the purpose that I was investigating, at least with this angle of making it actually look like something that, you know, because the idea of this is that this is the whole body serves as a head. It has an eye, it has a mouth, and it is engulfing things. That way. So yeah, it wouldn't necessarily serve this purpose, but it could work just to give it, just to make it more creepy, I guess. I don't mind making it kind of a nightmarish monster, even if some of the elements are coming sort of out of nowhere. That's fine with me. Hey Derek, welcome. The mouth just opens up like a chest cavity. Very gruesome. Yes. Yeah, it's just opening up your entire rib cage to eat things. Yeah, this could work. Anything else we should try? Any other elements you want to play with? The antenna for communicating with the dead, like that one just seems so... it's always just seemed out of place to me. I never liked Dusknoir's head. But maybe there's some other way we can incorporate communication with the dead, like what did the Ouija board things look like? Something like this. That could just be like an inscription on its back or something. Like that could be the transformation of the eye pattern on its back. Let me have a look at what Ouija boards actually look like, because that might be a good reference. Oh, it's almost like that. Okay, so it's not quite this simple, I guess, but it's almost. It's a little bit more elongated, and the circle is more on the top. So that could be a design element that we put somewhere just to keep that reference of communicating with the dead. Hello, Supreme Blaze, new to the channel. Welcome. We're working on redesigning Dusknoir as an evolution for this Dusclops redesign that I did in May of last year. Maybe a Ouija planchette over its eye, sort of like a monocle, so you can see other spirits. Just trying to think of like anatomically how to integrate that. I do like the idea that it could put it over its eye. At work, really wish I could be there for this one. Will this follow your redesign of Dusclops? Yes, this is an evolution of Dusclops. Hello, Charles. Sorry that you can't stay. Maybe the ribs could act as sort of teeth. Ooh. Maybe. Yeah. I like that. I like that. But hang on. Let me think about what the Ouija thing could look like. Whether it's one big eye or two eyes in this case doesn't really matter. But let's say that's what it looks like. What if it has almost like an antenna, I guess. But what if it has it kind of on the tip of something at the top of the hood? That it might be able to position over its eye. Might be too complex. You might want to integrate it in a less explicit way. Supreme Blaze is asking what my favorite generation is. First thing you have to do is define what you mean by a generation. If you mean the games, then that's generation 2. If you mean the generation of Pokemon, then it's probably generation 7, actually. Although I haven't given that very much thought, but generation 7 I think has a very high concentration of very good designs. 6 and 7 are both very good. I think 7 is slightly better overall. But if you mean like the region, then that's another one that I haven't really thought about. But I do like Galar a lot as a region, at least as a abstractly, not necessarily in the way they did it, but like the region itself could have been quite nice. But yeah, if you mean the games, then it's generation 2. Pokemon Crystal is my number 1 game, so. Your favorite is Generation 5. Generation 5 is very good. Generation 5 is very good as games. The one thing like that has always bothered me since Generation 5 came out is, and it's probably the reason I didn't enjoy those games as much as I should have, or as much as I could have, is that the way that they distort the pixel art in order to give the animations, the movement, and the 3D camera. Like, that really bothers me. Still does. Really don't like it. I really don't like the distorted pixel art. So like, I think it's got good story. It's got good Pokemon designs, and it's got good characters, and even the pixel art itself is really good, but then it gets distorted by the camera angles and the movement, and I just that really puts me off of it. So fourth gen cross-gen evolution seemed to completely miss the points, themes of the lines they were added to. They just made them meaner and fatter. That is true. I agree. I agree with that for the most part. I think there are some evolutions that did do really well. Like Roserade, I think is a really good one. There are others. Oh, Miss Magus, I think, is really good. But there's also, yeah, the other side of that. There's Dusknoir. There's Licky. There's Magmortar and Electivire I like, but it's still kind of in that camp. So, yeah. You greatly enjoyed Gen 8. I had fun with Gen 8. I just had a lot of disappointments with it as well. So, Licky is an abomination. Yes, Licky is basically Lickitung in anaphylactic shock, and its tongue has swollen up so much that it can't breathe. So, at least that's my interpretation of Licky. Mostly referring to the evolutions tacked on at the end of the decks because agree stuff like Miss Magus and Rose Raid is cool. I don't remember the dex placement, so I wouldn't be able to consider that. But yeah, I think it's like pretty much you separate like half of them are good, half of them are bad. There's no in between. Yanmega and Mamoswine were really well done. I'm not a huge fan of Yanmega's look, but I like what it did with Yanma, and Mamoswine is very good, yeah. So I think this is like the direction that we're going in. You might want to play around some more with some of the specifics, but I think this is the way we're going. What do you guys think of the skull shape? Do you think it should be based on the elephant skull in order to make it the more cyclopean skull, or should we keep it as a more humanoid skull in line with what we did for Dusclops and what Duskull has? I think that is the first question. The second question is whether the hood is important, whether we should keep the hood. And I guess if we're keeping the hood, we don't need to use the collar. It can just be hood. Yeah, don't need to have the collar frills, and then obviously the wings just go off of here. That might be better. That might simplify that area a little bit in a good way. Never understood why Jinx never got an evolution, but so many others did, especially with Magmortar and Electivire, as they were like a trio in the original games. They were sort of a trio, but Jinx has the only one of those that is a dual type, so it's hard. I don't know if they were really intended to be a trio. We all interpreted it as a trio. I certainly did as well, but I don't know if they were always intended to be a trio. It was kind of reinforced a little bit when all three of them got baby forms in Generation 2. But then it got like de-reinforced again with Generation 4 and how only 2 of them got evolutions. So I think Jinx needs to be reworked for sure. I don't know if an evolution would be the best way to go. Like maybe an alternate regional form would be better. When you say elephant skull, do you just mean the shape or consider adding tusks? Well, if you'll see... Oh yeah, so this version doesn't have the tusks, but in one of my other sketches over here... No? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so this one. Yeah, so I did actually put tusks on this one, and it could have tusks. Especially if I'm not giving it a collar, because I think the tusks and the collar conflict each other, but maybe that's okay. If I don't have a collar, maybe the tusks work. Oh, the other thing to try is that because Dusclops has the rib pattern, maybe we are a little bit looser with the jagged mouth here, and then we can put some ribs sticking out. Very gruesome. Very Halloween-y. How appropriate. So the votes were... Star Spectrum said voted humanoid skull. Max Powers voted elephant skull. I think it would be cool to incorporate the tusks to other bones in unusual places. How could we do that? Fire, Thunder, Ice Punch were exclusive moves in Gen 1. Even in Gen 1, Hitmonchan could learn all three of them. So I don't think they were signature moves at any point. I was really expecting a Jinx evolution in Generation 8. As soon as Mr. Rhyme was announced, all hopes were dashed. Just too many Psychic Ice types. Fair, yeah. If you could change the one thing about Pokemon games as a whole, what would you change? I think I would change their formula. Which is a kind of cheap way of saying I would change everything. Rather, I would want to see... The formula itself maybe isn't so much the problem, but like... I would want them to try more different things. You know, like not every game has to be you're a trainer, doing the gym challenge, doing the Pokemon League, and taking down an evil organization while you're at it. Not every game has to be that. I think you could be a trainer who is helping the professor, and you're more like your goals are more aligned with helping a professor, and gym challenge is not part of it. You know, just more different things is really what I would want. Add an actual plot with actual world building. I mean, they do have plot. It's poorly done, but they do have plot. I thought the plot was better done in Generations 1 and 2, where it was really understated, and I liked that. That's why we have spin-offs? I mean, do we? Do we still? We haven't had a proper spin-off, like in the style of Colosseum or something, since... What was it? Super Mystery Dungeon is the most recent? So, like... Yeah, like, Mystery Dungeon series hasn't happened in a while. Well, I guess there was the remake, but still. New entry into the Mystery Dungeon series hasn't happened in a while, and I did play the demo of that game, of the remake, and it wasn't really for me, just in terms of the format, the style of game. Ranger I've never played. I intend to play this coming month. I'm going to play it here in November. But that's another one. Hasn't happened in a while. In a very long time at this point. Colosseum XD. That's it. Recently, all of the spin-offs have been mobile games with very simplified mechanics. And like just very simplified games overall. And well, like the mechanics can be pretty complicated. Like Pokemon Masters has some complicated things, but the scope of the game is much more narrow, right? So, yeah. There's Let's Go if you want to consider that a spin-off, and like, I don't really consider it a spin-off, but I get it. And if they do, you know, more things like that. So like, okay, there's going to be a Let's Go series now. There's going to be a something else series that is also different but in different ways. I would appreciate that. I actually really enjoyed Let's Go, even though it was very, very easy. It was really fun experience, I thought. You're a bad guy gone rogue that steals the other Pokemon to purify them. Yeah. No, Colosseum and XD were both really good. Maybe Colosseum had the better plot, but XD was a better game, for sure. The most recent spin-offs are Pokemon Cafe Mix and Toothbrushing. But, like, okay, I haven't played the Toothbrushing. I haven't played either one of those, but they're puzzle games, right? They're not RPGs. They don't have battles. Like, they don't have the things that make the main series. Or that to me make Pokemon. And I play other games. Like, I play Pokemon Masters, but it's just really different. It doesn't feel the kind of game that I would like to see. Hello, Gano. Still waiting for sleep. Well, aren't we all? I don't know what to do the Ouija planchette. Apparently is what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but I'm not sure how I would how to incorporate that. It could just be the pattern on the back. I would like more opinions on the elephant skull versus humanoid skull. Obviously, it wouldn't be the exact sketches that I have here, but here's a more humanoid skull without a hood. Here's a more humanoid skull with a hood. This is the more elephant cyclopean skull with the hood. Could be without the hood as well. Here's the elephant skull without the tusks. Yeah, the rest is just a bunch of stuff that we tried. Elephant skull without tusks. Okay. Well, all right, we'll do the elephant skull. Supreme Blaze wishes they would fire Masuda. Completely disagree with his game design philosophy. I don't know about that. Like, what was his first game again? First game as the director? It's been a while. Anyway, yeah. I don't know if it's so much his game design philosophy or what it is, but I do think that Pokemon games overall have been going downhill in a few ways, but it's like, especially Sword and Shield, I think was quite bad. Yeah, I mean, at least compared to other Pokemon games and what I expect of Pokemon. Happy Halloween, Gano. This is literally the closest thing I have to a Halloween costume. And I have used it as a Halloween costume in the past. Okay, I'm gonna draw the whole thing again, but now with like every part on a separate layer so I can adjust proportions and that kind of thing. I think we'll go with the hood. On yeah. Oh, oops. Me. I'm going to make things on separate layers. Also me. Forgets to make a separate layer. Hey, Didac. I think we more or less settled on the direction we're gonna go with this. We just gotta now make it happen. And then, of course, make adjustments as we go. I like elephant skull as it kind of hints at elephant graveyards as well. Oh, that's true. Elephants are one of the few animals that we know of, at least, that have mourning rituals. So that's a good connection. Give it a shiny Umbreon hood. Maybe I will make a version where it's exactly the same, except the entire cloak part, the entire cloth part is actually the shiny Umbreon onesie that I'm wearing. It is the skull of the elephants that Raichu keeps shocking to death. That absolutely annoys me that he thinks that kids wouldn't play games that are difficult, which is gross overgeneralization. That is true. That's actually something that I was talking about with Indigo not too long ago, that like the Regis, just using that as an example, the Regis in Generation 3, their puzzle was incredibly difficult, right? And like we still managed to figure it out. I was able to recognize that it was Braille as a kid, obviously. I was able to recognize that it was Braille. I was able to go and I did eventually kind of learn Braille visually, but mostly I was just like when I realized that it was Braille, I basically like went to the encyclopedia that my dad owns, like the entire encyclopedia volume, found the one on Braille, and it had a table on Braille, so I basically used that to translate. And eventually I kind of got more or less used to which ones were which, and was able to do it more without having to reference everything. And then I was able to figure it out and understand what it was that I was expected to do. And with the Regi puzzles that we have today in the Crown Tundra, the kids today were just not given the credit that they, or even the opportunity to solve that puzzle. They weren't given the credit that they could solve that puzzle. And yeah. that is definitely not the case. Doo-Wop Boy said, "Boo, scared me to death." Yeah, much scared. Scared Gano as well. Okay. Dusknoir has yellow rings, so shiny Dusknoir could have blue rings. True. The puzzle in Gen 3 went too far. I don't think that it went too far, but that is a fine opinion to have. But the point is, kids in Generation 3 were given the credit. Kids in Generation 3 were expected to be able to figure that out. Kids today were not even given the opportunity to try and figure that out, even though they probably could. What if Game Freak has put in impossible puzzles in every game, but they're so secret and hard to find that we have no idea of their existence? I mean, that could happen. I know that there are things that other people have discovered in Crown Tundra that I haven't worked out yet myself, but I also just haven't played very much of it. So since it first came out, I haven't played very much of it. You know what? I'm not. Even though the teeth are supposed to be its ribs, I'm not going to do it quite that way. I'm going to make them more interlocking, so where it kind of moves away from the middle, those are the ones that get shown. So maybe there's another one over here. Fewer teeth. I was thinking of like Wispy Bottom before, but maybe it would look cool to have it more like a bird tail kind of deal. It'll end up being like a very like mishmashy kind of design, I guess. But maybe that's okay. It's just nightmare fuel. What do you guys think? I mean, I still need to do something with the hood. Something antenna-like, maybe, or not. Maybe just leave the little tip on it, like the other ones have, but like maybe just something like that. Or maybe more. Give it an antenna, or even like I did in one of my earlier sketches, an antenna that happens to look like a sickle. Or like a scythe, rather. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, the teeth here got misaligned. I must have missed enlarging them along with the rest. Are you going to do anything with the noir part of Dusknoir? Subtle reference to the film genre, maybe. If you have any ideas of how to do that, I would be very much open to that. I haven't thought about anything specific yet. But yeah, that is where the name comes from, so it would make sense to do something with that. You know, maybe it would make sense for the mouth. I was trying to do the like zigzag thing because that's the way the original Dusknoir mouth is. Maybe it would make more sense for it to be less zigzaggy. So that it's more symmetrical. So then we would have the ribs sticking out a little bit over here, a lot of bit over here, and then just a little bit over here as well. The scythe looks kind of like a flag. Oh, I guess it does. I mean, it wouldn't look like a flag, I think, once I color it in gray and, you know, make it a little shiny or something, but yeah. I don't know. I just don't really know what to do with the hood except just leave it the wispy way. Make it black and white. I mean, yeah, like we could just make it color it grayscale, except for the inside flame, maybe. But Dusknoir does have some details in yellow that might be interesting to keep in some way. Keep the belly eyes yellow, for example. More of a flash of color down there. Maybe there's some yellow marking of some kind that we can put on the wings or something to reference the zigzag from the chest, or the rings on the arms, something like that. And like all of those things I think would look good, but might take away from the film noir aspect of it. Which is hard to say if that was actually like intentional or if it was just what happened. Like it's just an interpretation that we have from the way it was named in English. Hard to say. Well, when you do redesign a Pokemon, do you make it a priority to make it recognizably that Pokemon, even if its existing design elements make no sense? No, not necessarily. It depends on the Pokemon, really. Some Pokemon, I think, like I will do my best to keep the concept, and I will just throw out everything. like I did for Dusclops. Like, putting markings on it to me is not a way of making it recognizably that Pokemon. It's just an homage to the original, to make it like, hey, this is still that Pokemon. You don't have to recognize that it is. It's just like, this Pokemon had that element. It doesn't really do anything, but it can have that element still. So that's what I did with Dusclops. Similar to what I did also with Carnivine. Completely changed the design. Others, no. Others, I keep most of the original and just make tweaks in order to just fix the specific things that I think are problems, like I did with Hawlucha, for example. That was a very, like, this is specifically the change I am making. So yeah, it really varies. It depends on how bad, how much of a problem I think the original design is. Spider-Man Noir could help visually. For example, it has high collars, very noir. I mean, I guess Dusknoir also has the high collars, which I guess I could give back to my version of it. Like, I mean, this is basically what I was doing in the beginning anyway, so I felt it was unnecessary to pair with the hood, but no, that's not the one I wanted to hide. Yeah. What if it had multiple wings like Crobat? Well, the idea of that is that the wings make up the cloak, right? The Reaper's cloak. Just like in my original here. So I don't think having multiple wings would really work within that. Because it wouldn't make it look like one long cloak anymore. Let me have a look at Spider-Man Noir. I mean, I know roughly what it looks like from Spider-Verse, but dressed in black, all leather, high collar, I guess, yeah. I mean, I could make it the whole thing a collar and not have a hood. Just make it one of those collars that goes around, but not actually go over the top. I don't know if that would be too un-Reaper-like. What would it be the point of looking like Seraphims, though? I mean, how is that related to the lore? The wings could have eyes. Ooh. Maybe that would be a better place to put those eye patterns than on the chest, since we're not really doing the like chest face. It might be better to put some eye markings on the wings instead, and like just not quite in the middle. Actually, I'll do that on a separate layer. I hope you can't hear that. There's a lot of noise coming from upstairs. It sounds like someone is maybe vacuuming, but it's super loud. I mean, maybe the people who... Maybe the neighbors changed and the people who live there never vacuumed, and that's why it sounds so off or something? I don't know. Or maybe someone's moving out now, because it is October 31st. This is... end of the month. It's time to move out. All right, bye, Supreme Blaze. Nice to see you. Let's try the hood that isn't a hood. Hang on. No, I want the skull, but I don't want this. I don't know. Maybe? Like, closed up, it might look okay. Yeah, that probably works. You're digging the collar? Okay. Maybe the head could float independently from the body and not be attached. I mean, that's basically already what it is, right? But yeah, I guess it would be more explicit. Or it could be more explicit. And it would be more explicit if we don't do a hood. It would be more obvious that it's just a floating head. It looks bald? Well, I mean, it is a skull, so... What if it had a halo on its head as a reference to fallen angels? I don't know if that fits with Dusknoir necessarily. Like, does Dusknoir have, or even anything in the Duskull family, does it have anything to do with angels? Oh yeah, and the other thing is, so this is what it would look like closed up, and maybe I'll do a more refined drawing of that as well, once we finalize the design. The other thing is that it'll open up its gaping belly maw. And probably tilt back its head in some way. In order to consume things. Which is another stance I could draw as well. Skulls do indeed tend to be bald, yes. If you decide to keep the collar, ghostly flame on head could serve to preserve head shape from prior stage's hood. So like the entire skull would be engulfed in the internal flame as opposed to just being inside of it. Maybe. It would still be like that single ball of energy on the inside, but it could be something that's like a ghostly flame over the entire thing. Yeah, something like that. Could be. Ghost Rider. Oh yeah, I can see it. Lewis from Mystery Skulls. That one I don't know. I've never heard of Mystery Skulls. But then people will complain about it not being a fire type. How could a Pokemon with a flame design not be a fire type? I guess all of the ghostly flame Pokemon are ghost and fire type, aren't they? There's the Litwick family, and there's the and there's a Alolan Marowak. Is there something else? Is there another one with a ghostly flame kind of deal? Closed up cloak version could have eyes on the outside of the cloak as well, maybe like buttons. Ooh, yeah, that could work. Just ask Incineroar, the not fighting type, yeah. I like the design so far, so pretty original to other redesign attempts I saw. Well, thank you, 002. Well, I do have the advantage that my Dusclops has nothing to do, like, doesn't really look anything like original Dusclops either, so it's a completely different basis that we're going off of. Obviously we do give some, like, trying to use some elements from the original, but yeah, I do like the idea that maybe over here or something there would be eyes. There's eyes no matter where you look. Ghastly, but it's more gas than flame. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a flame, but I guess it does have a similar aesthetic. I'm surprised Ghastly didn't get a Galarian variant based on Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is pretty universal though, not necessarily, it's not super British. So, I mean, it could have had one, but it wouldn't necessarily be like the single opportunity to make that happen or something. Anything else I should do here? We've got it. It's got eyes on the wings and it looks super creepy. It's got eyes on the outside as well, so it still looks creepy even when it's closed. It can open up its entire chest cavity in order to engulf its victims. It's got a bit of bat. It's got clawy kind of hands or scythe kind of hands. It's got the cloak. I'm pretty sure it's originally Scottish, or at the very least Celtic. Yeah, no, Lake Didax has, like, Will-O-Wisp with that name might be, but the concept is transcultural. Like in Brazil, we have it. Like there's an indigenous Brazilian version of it as well. So yeah, it is pretty universal. You should give him like some flying blue purple flames around him. Would look pretty cool. I wouldn't do blue or purple. Like I'm keeping the red flame. Which in this, like right now we do have it on the head, like around the head. It might just be inside of the head as well. Dusk something, the nightmare fuel Pokemon, basically, yeah. There are many similar things throughout cultures. Will-O-Wisps are Celtic. Yeah, might be, but like, it's the phenomenon and the various very similar cultural interpretations of it. Yeah, they happen everywhere. Hello, Dragon Buster Bros. I think the only bad thing about this otherwise excellent design is that Game Freak would never approve this design. Too creepy for kids, they would say. Well, maybe. But that's okay. This is Halloween! Too creepy, unlike Mr. Mime. Or half of the dex entries for ghost types. Yes, fair. Dang, it actually looks pretty cool. Nice sketch. Could be a mega Dusknoir design. Would be fine with it. I don't think this would fit with the original Dusknoir. For anyone who hasn't been here since the beginning or hasn't seen me comment on it yet, this redesign is specifically a redesign using my Duskull redesign from May of 2019, which is this one, as the basis. So we are still looking to the original Dusknoir, its Pokédex entries, some of its design elements, but more than that, we are focused on evolving this Dusclops. Which is like, it's only barely a Dusclops, right? It's more like an evolution to Duskull that I like, which Dusclops is not. So yeah, so the point here is more than to just take Duskull and Dusclops as the original and redesign only Dusknoir, which would lead to a very different redesign. This is take Duskull as it is, Dusclops, we're taking the redesign, and then we're using what we can from Dusknoir, from the original existing Dusknoir, to make it into this. Should make the head bigger. I think the proportions look good, but yeah, I can try making the head bigger. Anything else I should play with besides the head, I guess? It works with it bigger. No, where's the part I actually want to change? Oh, for some reason I drew the eyes that I put on the closed version. I drew them on the same way. Okay. What are you selecting? What is... Okay, there you go. Where's the chest rift? There you go. I read today some rumors saying that Game Freak might announce Pokemon Velvet Red and Azure Blue, which would be located in Neo Kanto. What's your opinion on the idea of some soft reboots? That's it. That's the opinion. I'm going to say what I've been saying for what, like 2 years now. Sequels, not remakes. Even though I will probably play anything that, like any new Pokemon game, especially like a main series Pokemon game, I will probably play it. But I don't like, remakes are already soft reboots, right? And I don't want that. I want them to build on the things that they have, as opposed to continuously rework the things that they have. Like, you've already got red and blue, you've already got fire red and leaf green, you've already got Pokemon Yellow, and you've already got Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I don't mind going back to Kanto. Like, being a Kanto game full of Kanto Pokemon to me is not the problem. I'm getting tired, and I'm gonna get annoyed if they continue doing that. I'm tired of playing the same story. It's like, it's the same thing, but different. No, I don't want that. Okay, if we're going back to Kanto, I want to say Kanto a few years later, a few years earlier. Something that still connects to the lore of the games that of the story that we know, that still connects to it in some way, but that isn't just that story. Hello, Cesare. There's a lot of messages. Oh, there you go. Oh, antenna or no? Yeah, I don't know. Is there some version of an antenna that'll work? I don't think so. Oh, you know what I could do? Instead of, because here I have the eyes drawn like Dusknoir's belly eyes, basically. But what if instead of those eyes, even though I keep the same size and placement kind of thing, instead I draw them like the Ouija board triangle thing? Because depending on how it's drawn, this actually works quite well as an eye design. Or not so much how it's drawn, but how it's colored. It'll actually work quite well as an eye design. And then it keeps that like connection to communication with the dead. Something like that. Since they're flame-like, I don't think they're coming from lightnings. Oh, the idea that that will-o-wisps are ball lightning. No, I think will-o-wisps, I'm pretty sure, are swamp gas that self-combusts. I'm pretty sure, like, scientifically, that is what they are. Confirmed, or at least highly likely, or something like that. I almost forgot that you redesigned Dusclops, and what was with that mouth? Yeah, so the idea with this Dusknoir is that rather than having a belly mouth the way that original Dusknoir has, it just kind of opens a rift in its chest. And yeah, and that's how it engulfs its prey, or its victims, or whatever you want to call it. I just want Gen 4 remakes. If they make something with Kanto, better be worth it. Nah, sequels, not remakes. Hashtag sequels, not remakes. Do you think that Game Freak would announce anything important next year on Pokemon Day? Absolutely. Yes. Yes, 100%. Hasn't it been a trend that like every Pokemon Day for at least the past 4 years? Sun and Moon were announced on Pokemon Day. I'm pretty sure there's been a Pokemon Day, like a fairly major Pokemon Day announcement every year. Yeah. I think since Sun and Moon. I think. What is the difference between victim and prey to Dusknoir? Well, it's unclear whether it is consuming the souls for itself or if it is taking them to the afterlife. Like, guiding them to the afterlife is really unclear. So, maybe it doesn't make a difference. Maybe we need Dusknoir to spew out candy from its belly. Maybe. Okay, let's go with this. Let's just go with this because I believe it or not, I don't want to be here all day. Let me see if I can draw it in a more interesting way, though. Oh yeah, I was going to draw everything on separate layers, right? So that I can adjust proportions. That's probably a good idea to keep doing that. Actually, maybe I can just more or less use what I have here. Hang on. Oops. Apparently I can't do what I wanted to do, so I will just move it this way. Dusknoir consumes souls and it internally turns them into rare candy and experience candy. Maybe that's how the professor is, Professor what's his face in Pokemon Go. Maybe that's how he gets the candy, the Pokemon candy that he gives to trainers. We always thought it was a grinder, but maybe it's actually, you know, not that bad. It's just it's just thrown into the belly of a Dusknoir. That's all. I really like when Pokemon have aspects of different animals rather than just being based on a single animal, so I'm really digging it, so that's good. Does anyone know how to make smoothing in Photoshop go beyond 100%? Because sometimes I wish I could. Oh, I wish I could as well, but if it is possible, I don't know. Yeah, 100% of smoothing is often just like not enough depending on your, especially if you have bigger brush sizes. So with the wings, you're going to ghost rough blanket appearance. Yeah, more or less. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to serve as both wings and as the Reaper cloak. So yeah, it is supposed to be pretty rough looking. I forgot that Dusknoir is like the Grim Reaper. Well, especially after being the Duskull that I made. So, yeah, definitely going for the Grim Reaper approach. And hello, Alex. Welcome. Angel simply means messenger, and that's disappointing to you? Why is that disappointing to you? Does that look right for the angle? I don't think I've ever drawn a bird in an angle like this, so it's hard to say if it looks right. Chern has been trying out like 3 very different, ever-changing teams in preparation for Players' Cup 2 regional tournament. I think I have a team just now that I might actually commit to and try to polish through practice on rank after Series 7 finally starts in a few hours. Well, good luck with that, Sharon. When is Players Cup 2? Like, when does that start? I forget. According to Pokedex, it has an antenna which gets ghostly signals. Yeah, it does. But we haven't been able to figure out how to incorporate that in a way that looked right. So I'll ignore that. But that's why we put the Ouija board thing, whatever it's called, this design. Is that not the layer I'm on? Yeah, so that's why we put these on here, specifically to reference the whole communicating with the dead thing that it's supposed to have, so. How many designs are we at? I mean, I don't know, like it's stayed more or less the same. It's just like a change, make a small change here, make a small change there, but the overall look, the overall approach has stayed pretty consistent actually, so. The matches for the next phase are on Saturday next weekend. That phase will reduce each region from 256 to 16 players. Well, I will be cheering you on, Sharon. So next weekend, okay. I will make a mental note. So the others in the eyes could see where the ghostly signals are coming from. The others in the eyes. I don't know if it would actually be receiving signals through the eye patterns on its wings. But the idea is that it would be, is mostly just to reference that, the idea that it communicates with the dead. Because I'm not using the original Dusknoir as the starting point, I have drawn a lot of things on separate layers that like make no sense to be on, or sorry, I've drawn a lot of things on shared layers that make no sense to be on the same layer, but whatever. Too late now. Should have Grim Reaper weapon as its first and biggest feather. You mean the scythe? That's... Yeah, I don't know if I want to make it that explicit. The biggest feather could be scythe shaped. Hang on. Not on that layer. Maybe this works. Maybe this works. What do you guys think? The chest splitting open is going to be more horrifying. Yeah, of course, it's going to be more horrifying. I'm not drawing it with the chest actively opening, but yeah, it would open. Oh no, it did not devolve into a pattern on the chest. Not at all. No, it still opens up. Don't worry about that. I think that's probably like the most important aspect of the concept of this design. So that's not going anywhere. Okay, I was trying to make the wings like flip backward, but I don't think that's gonna work. It's gonna have to flip forward. Slightly different wing angle. How does that look? And I'll do a separate drawing as well that shows it standing, basically, with the cloak closed. I'll make these the like almost swallowtail kind of look at the back. I will make him longer so that they can be more like the Dusclops that I did. Yeah. I was considering using Thunderous and Tornadoes on the same team for a bit earlier just to piss off people who dislike them. The round body shape is not working. I think I just need to make it... I agree that it looks a little bit awkward right now. I think I just need to make it a bit wider, maybe. Like the whole thing. Don't even really need to draw this part of it, actually. This part I can just leave. I do need the, like, bulge of the chest, but other than that. Should probably make it V-shaped and make the wings bigger. Make it curvy. I mean, V-shaped in what way? I can definitely make the wings bigger. That's not a problem. I just have to make sure I have the wings on the correct layer. Or rather, on separate layers, which, look at that, I do. Top part bigger, bottom smaller, but that's already what it is. Unless you just mean like this part specifically. Like more like this, more chesty, I guess. Which would imply a body more or less like that, although I'm not going to draw this line. Don't know why, but it reminds me of Sigilif. Well, I certainly don't know why. But as long as that's a good thing, that's fine with me. Skull Flame should be bigger too? Not sure about that, but I'll try it. Do I have the I know the skull and the flame are both the same layer. Oh, but they're not actually. Okay, then I can make... these are on the same layer. Hello, Ethan. Welcome back. I was never able to hear you on chat. I don't know if you ever tried to say anything, but I could never hear you. That's the layer I want. Okay. Ethan, I unmuted you already. As soon as you told me that you were muted, I unmuted you, and I told you that. Anyway. I went and checked, and you were still muted by me, but but and then I undid it. So, and I could hear noises coming from your microphone. I just couldn't hear you talking. You guys can hear Ethan? I can't hear anything. Have you been trying to talk and like, because I could hear noises coming from your microphone, but I couldn't hear you talk. And well, right now you're not even connected to the chat, so you couldn't be talking. So. Ethan must be trying to communicate with you from the other side, maybe. Yeah, no, I could hear at first, at the beginning, when I unmuted you, and then I could hear noises coming from your microphone, and I could see the like Discord thing lighting up, so I knew that it was actually coming from your microphone. I never heard you talk though. So, that's weird. And I certainly have all of the necessary things unmuted now. Just double checking everything. You're not connected to chat, I know, but yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. If you were trying to talk to me earlier, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. Try turning on your ghost antenna. Oh yeah, maybe. Well, I didn't put a ghost antenna on this design, so maybe that's the problem. Well, you may not be upset, but I'm upset. I don't know what happened. I was trying. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead with this. I will do a quick drawing of what it looks like with the cloak closed up, though.
Hello?
Hi. Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay. I'm gonna leave now, but just want to make sure you could hear me.
Okay.
Bye. Alright, bye.
Bye. Good luck with your training. For the record, I'm not upset either that Shed is doing a Dusknoir redesign instead of playing Dynamax Adventures with us for once this week. You keep playing Dynamax Adventures when I'm working. That's not my fault. Actually, gonna switch to a different sketching brush here for good reason. It's looking a little fat, but I will fix that shortly. What was the question? So is this Dusknoir is ghost flying? Oh yeah, as Charon says, I don't explicitly change types, but yeah, I suppose that would make sense. There, that's a little better. Oh, actually, I think I need my symmetry back. Yeah, good enough. There's almost no examples of Pokemon flying not being flying type. Very true. But yes, Decidueye is a ghost type. Huh? You can fly just by being a ghost type. And Venomoth. Yep, good one. All right. Alright, so that's one, that's the other, and I will clean them both up now. Maybe make the flame more simple, like more curvy. Oh, yeah, I'll dry it a little bit. more simplified when it's not a sketch. Everything has to be a bit simplified when it's not a sketch. Are you guys discussing whether Flygon deserves to be a flying type? Is that right? Or should have been a flying type rather than deserves, I guess. Is Charon missing out on some flying type related hot takes? I think you might be. I'm missing out on them too, but I think you might be. The mouthing kind of reminds you of a zipper. Sure, I can see that. and that's not a really a bad thing. It's because it is supposed to open up, so I guess it makes sense that it would look a bit like a zipper. Dunsparce would have been a funny dragon type if it was a dragon type. Because it's weak. I agree with that. Except for the fact that I want there to be more weak dragon types. I want dragon type to be a less like kind of exclusive type. And I guess it kind of was with the Applin family. It is a bit more of a kind of everyday. It is Applin is still rare, I think, if I remember correctly. It's still rare in the main game, at least in the route that it's found in. But it is a bit more of a kind of normal Pokemon as opposed to a powerful pseudo-legendary, whatever. I guess Duraludon too, but Duraludon has seen so much use in competitive. I would hesitate to say that it isn't powerful. But it is a little bit more of a, normal Pokemon. I was overexposed due to using it fanatically all year. Maybe a little, but like I don't think I've even battled you, Charon. I saw it lots in ranked battles for sure. I guess we battled once in the competition. The highly successful Umbreon Libris Online friendly with 5 participants. No, it's highly contested. Oh, I missed the little corner. Ooh, those wing lines ended up way thicker than I intended. Okay, well, guess I'll counterbalance it with making this one thicker too. Good enough. Looks spooky. That's good. It is Halloween after all. Although personally, I've never really been that fond of Halloween. Halloween has never really meant very much to me except, oh, my school is hosting a party and you get to dress up. That's about it. You once dressed up as Ash, Ethan? Do you have photos of that? Well, Ethan, you're going to have to share some photos of Ethan Ketchum. I like to dress up as my doppelganger. Yeah. Gano, you never did a Pokemon costume for Halloween? I don't think I did either as a kid, but... But like I said, nowadays, this is the closest thing I have, closest thing I own to a Halloween costume. So I have actually worn it to Halloween. There's one time actually where me and two friends all went to this spooky train ride thing in Vancouver, and all three of us were wearing onesies. So I was wearing this one. My friend who actually gave me this onesie was wearing her Espeon one, and our other friend was wearing, I think, a unicorn. No, hers was a tiger, I think. So, yeah, but it, normally I would probably feel kind of weird walking around downtown Vancouver in a onesie, but we were all doing it together, so it was fine. I think I need to close this document because it is not responding properly. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I'm catching up with the chat because I got distracted for too long. Well, got concentrated for too long. And now I have no idea what's going on. Alright. I don't think that there was anything I needed to respond to. Oh, you should make a video of what if I was a gym leader. I've considered doing that, but I'm generally not into like the formulaic videos. And like, I'm not sure I would have anything super original to do with that. Like, whenever I do a video that is in a more or less formulaic or kind of typical topic, you know, classic PokeTuber topic, like, oh, top 10 favorite Pokemon or whatever. Like, when I talked about my favorite Pokemon, I talked about a spreadsheet, right? Like, I don't like to do it, you know, the way everyone else does, basically. I want to do something different. So, if I was a gym leader, like, I could probably come up with something cool if I was just doing that the way everyone else does, but I wouldn't want to do it the way everyone else does. So that's what I would have to figure out. What would I do that is uniquely mine in terms of the format, not just of the content itself. So, and that's hard. So, which is why I end up doing a lot of videos that are just like, you know, my opinion on things, because, well, at least my opinion is my own. My approach to Pokemon, my interpretation of the Pokemon world, that is mine. Top 10 generations. Yeah. Top 10 caves in Pokemon. Top 10 fish Pokemon. I would be surprised if any of those video topics haven't already been done. I would be surprised if they haven't. Alright, let's make a palette from our original here. That, and I'm gonna make a fairly rough palette in the end. Actually, those two are very similar, so I'll just take this one, take the yellow, take a red. Good enough. Oh, huh. So the lines got cut off? Oh, okay. Seems I drew a lot of things on the wrong layer. Yep, sure did. Alright, so all that belongs on the same layer. Great. Wait, no, not that part. Ugh, okay. Why do I keep making this mistake? And I mean, I literally always make this mistake, so. Did I get it all right now? Cool. That seems right. Some mistakes are destined to repeat forever, like going to your party instead of the purification chamber. Yep. That's a classic one. Alright, now I can hide the flames. Yes, because that's what I was trying to do all along. So just to color all the parts that are supposed to be base gray. Of course I missed one. How would I not miss it? Well, how to best do this? I guess I'll just go with sample all layers. But no, I actually need those gone. Well, I'll leave it at that for now. Oh, hey, Mark. Haven't talked to you in a while. How are you doing? How are things in Argentina, in South America? Has our continent gone to the toilet yet? I guess Charon missed the entire part where we were. Oh, I missed more lines on this one too. At least these are all on the red layers. I just gotta put a few extra zigzags back there. I guess Charon missed the entire part where I was talking about drawing it in 2 different poses to really show off what it does, what it looks like. Can't go to the toilet if you were there already. Big brain. Oh, God. Personally doing good with a lot of stuff in my hands at the moment, but fun stuff. That's good, Mark. Have you got any videos being worked on besides your Argentina region one, which I know is at least being worked on? I have no idea when, like how far along it is, but I know that it's being worked on. Please don't give you bad grades. What do you think this is, Charon? You are not in school. I know this is nightmare fuel, but a different kind of nightmare. Not that I would think going back to school is a nightmare, but I know other people would. Is this not art school? You're in the wrong class. This is not art school. That is a once a month lesson only. Sorry. That is the way I want it. I have the script almost finished. The collab, just gotta add an ending conclusion and then we'll be ready to record and edit. That's cool. Looking forward to whoever it is that you're collaborating with. This is class with Professor Shed, and not this is not class. This is chill. This is break time. Cool, what is that? And you'll make a cameo on someone's channel in the next few days. Cool. Are you gonna like literally walk on, walk off kind of deal? Alright. Just time to shade. I realize my face is like super bright in the camera, and I don't know why my camera won't adjust it. Yeah, like right now the sun is right in my face, even though the blinds are down. Actually, that's better. Yeah, even though the blinds are down, there is a huge window right here. And I'm, you know, way overexposed. But like, why, camera, hello, why won't you adjust to that, to the correct exposure, right? Like, I guess it's because it's too dark back there, but come on, my face is like 50% of this image. So, Professor Shed is a saint, he has a halo on camera. I'm sorry to say that that is not true. I am not, in fact, a saint. Hey Ghana, you got your shiny Rayquaza! Awesome! That's sweet. Congratulations. How long did that take you? You've been doing Dynamax Adventures, right, for that? How often have you been doing it? "31 tries." Okay. I mean, 31 is a lot, but it's not too bad. Have you heard of San Josephat Kunstevich, better known as Buddha? I have not heard of that Buddha. Because there are many, or there have been many. But I have not heard of that one, no. It's hilarious. A story of a prince throwing away all his wealth to seek salvation. Buddha got extended through medieval Europe, and Catholic Church canonized him as a Polish prince. What? I have not heard of that for sure. Felix, you had a random encounter shiny Nidoran male in Crown Tundra. That's cool. I haven't gotten any random encounter shinies in Generation 8 yet. Part of the reason I don't like these games. I'm kidding, that's not true. I wasn't sure if it was shiny because of the hail fog, but once it twinkled, it was very happy. Oh yeah, yeah. The twinkle is pretty important, even these days. It was important early on because, like, the reason they put a sparkle is because not everyone playing a Generation 1 game would have been playing it on a Game Boy Color, right? So they had to do that. Actually. Okay, I think this one is done. Is there anything you guys think I should do? In the meantime, I will get started on shading the other one as well. No color change on the inner circles of the triangles. I was thinking about that. Like maybe it could be. It could be brown, or sorry, it could be gray. I guess like the body color around it to emphasize how it's. To make it look more like an eye, and more like a hole, I guess. I didn't think it was necessary, but what do you think? Oh, you'd asked about it before. I'm sorry, I missed that question. Should the inner circles on the Ouija be gray or red? Because traditionally they are holes. Yes, they are holes. I'm personally in favor of making it red or gray. The circle looks superfluous, if not because it isn't eye-like enough. Maybe make the teeth yellow? The teeth are more supposed to be the ribs rather than teeth. So I think it makes more sense to keep them yellow, or to keep them white, even though yellow might actually look pretty good. I'm pretty sure I saw this Dusknoir on an Iron Maiden album. I will take that as a compliment, as I believe you intended it. Do you have a logo for your channel? I do. It's I mean, it's not a great logo, but the logo that I use is the title card, I guess, that I use for my channel. The open book, the like fake Pokemon Crystal thing. It's the closest thing I have to a logo. New ability, Metal Rock. Sound moves do super effective damage on steel types. Alright, let's try making the eye holes. Oh, I see. That is not the layer that I thought it is. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's probably better. Looks more like eyes. Hey Indigo, welcome back. Basically, you missed everything. I think I'm done. Like literally, I think I'm done here. So here it is. So this is what it looks like standing. Very it's like a Grim Reaper but mixed with Ghost Rider. This is it, perfectly closed up. It's got its wings around it, wrapped as a cloak. It's got the pattern that makes it look like eyes or like buttons on its cloak. And then it opens up, and it's got these like sickle fingers, scythe fingers. It's got it's got the same eye pattern. That looks so that pattern that is eyes is also supposed to look like the thingy that you use on a Ouija board, so to reference how it communicates with the dead. And yeah, so there you go. And the part that I didn't really draw, I just kind of hinted at, I guess, with this drawing, is that the chest cavity opens up, and that's how it swallows up its victims. its prey, whatever it is. It opens up its chest cavity, takes them into that void, and the thing that looks like teeth that you're seeing is actually its ribs. They seem nice, yeah. I don't think this would replace Dusknoir, but I think this would make a cool Pokemon on its own. Well, yeah, I think it would replace Dusknoir if this is the Dusclops that we're working with, right? So I think what we ended up with here, I think this is a pretty good evolution actually for this Dusclops. I don't think that it was necessary to create an evolution for this Dusclops, but I think these are pretty decent evolutions. Or this is a single pretty decent evolution. Game Freak should do one of those crazy cherubim angels in Bible and Pokemon. As a Pokemon, will surely love it. I think, as I said before, I think if these designs were implemented, they shouldn't be implemented as Dusclops and Dusknoir. I think that they should be implemented as a regional evolution that actually diverges from. So it would start as Duskull, and then it would be this Dusclops, well, this, but not called Dusclops. It would be Reaper Dusk Reaper. I don't know, something like that. But it would be, what I mean is it would be something different. It would not be a Dusclops, it would be a split evolution. And then that would evolve into this. If necessary. I don't think it necessarily even needs to evolve at all. But, yeah. Personally, I think the dust line is perfect, but that's just my opinion, but this redesign looks dope. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really don't like Dusclops. Original Dusclops I really do not like. Dusknoir is better. It like redeems itself a little bit, but I still don't really like it overall. So, but I guess that's it. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Duskcreep. Spelled like that. Yeah, Duskcreeper. Creeper makes it, I know that I said that, but it makes it sound more like creeper. So yeah, let me hit save. And I guess I have a little while before I have to do anything else, which is great. The anime was for some reason really sure that it was a vacuum. Oh, like the inside? Yeah. It's supposed to be like a black hole or something like that, right? So. Alright. Anyway. I hope that you enjoyed this. Oh, before I go, let me tell you when we're doing the next redesign, the November redesign, and let me tell you what, and then we can figure out what we're going to redesign then. So the date is going to be November 28th, which is in exactly 4 weeks. So November 28th. As for what we redesign, I've kept the all of the suggestions that were made last time before we decided that we were gonna do Dusclops instead. Then we're just gonna throw it out. We had settled on Ice Cube, but I will give you the opportunity again to just shoot any suggestions you want. So we'll do a few minutes of you can just suggest whatever you want, and I'll add it to the list. And then this is accumulating with previous suggestions as well. So whatever gets suggested more than once between right now and what's already been suggested, I will take the ones that have been suggested the most, and then out of those we'll select what goes next. So just shoot your suggestions. Arceus. Okay, yeah, that's been on here before. What else? Ice Cube needs a redesign. What else? Spiritomb. Oh, has that one been suggested before? I don't think it has. It has not. Okay, that's a new one. Conkeldurr. Gano's pushing that one because he knows it's been suggested before. By him, I believe. Umbreon. That one's definitely not been suggested before. Patrat. Patrat specifically, not like Patrat and Watchog. Just Patrat? Ice Cube again, he could have been much cooler Pokemon. Penguin has cool ability. I will not add it again, but it is already in there. Turn Delibird into a turkey for Thanksgiving. I can add Delibird to here, but Canadian Thanksgiving has passed already, so I guess that is the Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, man, we could do something Thanksgiving themed. All right, anything else? Seasonal Delibirds. Yeah, maybe. Delibird as a turkey is very funny. Delibird is disgusting and it is irredeemable, says Indigo. Which, I don't know if it's irredeemable, but it is disgusting. Because its bag is its tail, so if you're reaching into the bag, you are literally reaching into a bag made of flesh. And that is disgusting. Okay, well, since there's not any new suggestions coming out, the ones that have been suggested the most, we're looking at Ice Cube or Girder and Conkeldurr. Those are the two that have gotten the most suggestions accumulating from the past. So now you have to be in either Camp Ice Cube or Camp Conkeldurr, and just tell me as often as you want, as many times as you want. I'm going by volume in the chat, so whoever can be the loudest over the next minute or so, Ice Cube camp or Conkeldurr camp, that's the one that we're going to do next time. And go. Do we want us to spam? Yeah, if you feel very strongly, then go ahead. Ice Cube, Conkeldurr, Ice Cube, Conkeldurr, Conkeldurr, Ice Cube, Conkeldurr, Conkeldurr, Ice Cube, Ice Cube, Ice Cube, Conkeldurr, Conkeldurr? Aw, come on, Sharon. Alex, you love them both. I'm sorry, but one of them is gonna go. What about Conkeldurr? Ice Cube. Oh, this is very close. Conkeldurr, Conkeldurr, Ice Cube, Conk Ice Cube, Ice Cube, Ice Cube. Swanna. Swanna's not one of them. I mean, Swanna has been one of them before, but it's okay. Alright. Ice Cube is winning. Ice Cube is winning, I think thanks largely to Didac. Ice Cube did win last time and then got postponed anyway. So it makes sense that we will do Ice Cube. It will not be a turkey, but I will do my best to work out a better execution of the concept of Ice Cube. And I like the concept of Ice Cube, but I do not like the execution. So we'll try. We'll try. And then Ice Cube will be done, and then you know, maybe it'll be Conkeldurr for Christmas. Yes, Charon, I do believe the execution of Ice Cube is weak. Oh, not that kind of execution. I'm not going to cut its head off. I'm just gonna break the ice. Delibird would be a good one for Christmas, yeah. But I doubt that it'll be in the most suggested. Think of the children. The bot gently asked me to take a break from spamming. Well, you won, so you can take that break. What do I think of the execution of Execute? Not a good one. Yeah, no, definitely not a good one. All of this bias against Ice-type Pokemon is making me sick. Sorry, Mike. So that's not a bias against Ice-type Pokemon. There were some really nice Ice-type Pokemon, but Ice-Q and Delibird are not among them. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me and helping me work out what this design was gonna be. I like it. It is a little bit cartoony, I guess. Like, it reminds me a little bit of, what? Billy and Mandy? Is that right? Like, the cartoon with the two kids and the Grim Reaper. It reminds me of that Grim Reaper. But that's okay. I think it looks good. Anyway. Thank you. Make sure, if you haven't already, to watch the video that I put out yesterday. I don't think that I don't think that the problem is that it looks cartoony. The problem is that it reminds me of that one specifically, which makes it seem less Pokemon-like. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure to watch the video that I put out yesterday. And I think, I'll confirm this later in the week, but I think I will be back to streaming on Wednesdays. Planning on streaming Pokemon Ranger, the second one, whichever one the second one is. That's the plan. So, we'll see how that goes. And yeah. I do agree that Ice Cube's concept is clever, yes. I just don't like the execution, but... Alright. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye!